Doctor Strange. Um, Welcome to Dyami Rambles On, the show where I do this stuff. Doctor Strange. Ah, man. Yeah, so I've been on like this Marvel movie kick, and it's marvelous. Um, yeah, that was pretty funny. Um, so yeah, I really like the series, the cinematic universe. Um, yeah, a lot of people are like, ew, it's Disney, it's corporate, it's not as good as the comics. If you have an attachment to the comics and you think the films on some level uh, are spoiling or are ruining that, if you don't think they're like doing it justice, I respect that because that's an attachment you have to a source material, and you don't think the adaptation, you think it was lacking in somewhere. We'll close the window. But like, I personally, never read any of, I never read any of the Marvel comics, so I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. They look awesome. I love looking at the art. You know, that stuff's great. But I've never actually like sat down and read through, like, a thing of one. And uh, oh, I just think it's a good solid series of movies. Anyway, Doctor Strange was, I think, the 16th in the series. I think, I'm not sure. And no, 15th maybe. I don't know. That could be wrong. That could all be wrong. Um, yeah. So we have Benedict. Benedict. Cabbage Patch. And he's a doctor at his house. He's a British guy playing a douchey doctor, and they both have kind of the same. They both have kind of the same demeanor of speaking. That was not a good impression, but it's that. And yeah, and he is like a really precise like surgeon, and then he gets into a car crash, and he fucks up his hands. Now he can't do the things anymore. And he's like, oh no. Rachel McAdams is there. She's fine. She fills the role, I guess. Ugh, I'm sick as balls. 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 And, yeah, Doctor Strange is like, dog. I can't, like, live my life like this. I can't, like, accomplish anything with my hands all like this. And then he goes to a guy, and the guy's like, I was, yeah, the guy was paralyzed. And then he's not paralyzed because of magic. And Doctor Strange is like, yo, give me some of that magic. The guy's like, it's in Nepal, boy. So Strange goes to Nepal. And then he gets mugged by these dudes. But then a black guy shows up. And I only mention his race because uh, he just sticks out like a sore thumb in like in like these streets of Nepal. It's just a black guy walking around with like this big like green hooded like thing, and him and Benedict Cumberbatch walking around that area. They just both stick out like, and it was just funny to me. I don't know. Um, I don't know. This is funny. Uh, they go to the ancient one who. Oh yeah, they changed a few races in this movie, didn't they? Because Mordo is black, but he was originally white, I believe, in the comic, and the ancient one is Tilda Swinton, but in the comic, it was a guy, and he was Asian, or he was Tibetan specifically, maybe. And for multiple reasons, I don't know, they changed it to Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton, she's good in this, so I'm not like blaming her or anything, but like, I don't know, kind of weird. Anyway, Doctor Strange. He thinks he knows better than Tilda Swinton, and she goes like that to him, and then the movie gets so trippy. I was like, hold up, dog. Like, whoa. Strange is like, ah! He sees a butterfly, he touches it, and then he flies above the earth, and then his hands become smaller hands, and then he sees Dormammu, this giant evil demon with like cartoony eyes. Um, yeah, I like the way Dormammu is built up in this movie. He's built up as this demon who he has like power over this one dimension, a dark dimension, and yeah, he wants to bring it over to our world and up everybody. And Doctor Strange is like, so with the help of Caecilius, uh, a guy who I don't even feel the need to go into much detail about, just because he's like not super interesting, as I mentioned in another video. He's fine. He looks cool. As I said, he has a plan. Yeah. Dormammu was cool, I guess, and some of the music's good. Some of it's kind of like the first time the cape attaches himself to him, and he like flies up, and the music's like, duh! It's supposed to be like, yeah, but it's more like, yeah. That's honestly how I felt. I was like, it was less like, more like, right on. That's cool. um, the visuals are again really trippy and amazing, and some of the music is nice. Some of it's like, it's like it's way nicer than that. Um, yeah, Doctor Strange. He goes like, and he goes from like not being a sorcerer to being a sorcerer in like a span of like no time. I would like to assume that he was there for like years, but this movie doesn't really like. If he was there for years, this movie doesn't really flow in a way that makes it feel like years. It makes it feel like weeks, if anything. Maybe a couple months. But also, in the beginning of the movie, before Strange wrecks his hands in the car crash, he gets a message on his speaker, his like phone, um, as he's driving. Someone someone back at the hospital, I guess, or who's someone offering Strange like patients to work on, and one of them is like a 35-year-old Air Force colonel, who crushed his lower spine in some experimental armor, and some people were thinking that was War Machine, Rhodes from in Civil War when he Civil War, what an awesome movie. And I feel like it could be. I honestly feel like it could. That's what I'm going with. Honestly, Don Cheadle is like 50 something, and they said the guy was 35. I honestly, that's fine. Like, I have no problem suspending belief. Yeah, uh, Don Cheadle as Rhodes is 35 in this movie. Yeah, I have no problem like suspending belief with that. Honestly, like, um, or at least like 40s, if anything. Um, and some other people were saying it could be the guy who this scene that I didn't even remember because Iron Man 2 is so forgettable. But I read some comments, some stipulations, some theories. Um, that it could be the person in Iron Man 2 who Sam Rockwell, I believe, uh put in like an experimental Iron Man suit or something, and then it like the suit like twisted around, so he like broke his lower back, I guess. But and Sam Rockwell apparently did say the guy survived. So they say people say it could be him, but the timelines just don't add up. Like if if the beginning of Doctor Strange takes place a few takes place like around Iron Man 2 time, then it would make sense. But again, the movie doesn't really have it feel like years have gone by. But if that's the case, then I'll believe that too. So I could really believe it's either Rhodes or that guy. Like either way. So whenever the beginning of Doctor Strange takes place, I don't know, man. I just rambled for like several minutes about this one thing. I don't know, man. This is what it's like being a fucking nerd, dog. I peace. I'm doing a Doctor Strange teleport sling ring thing to leave.